continue to see kids excel in academics, athletics, scholarships, just performances across the district, and we're very proud of that.
USD 49 has kicked off the year. Superintendent Ron Wilson stops by to talk about what we have to look forward to on this episode of the Post Podcast.
There is a level of excitement that comes this time of year that is just indescribable, probably to most people, in terms of just when you shut down an organization for 3 months and then we start back up, and there's just a whole new level of everything that comes all at once. So we experienced it yesterday as we got kicked off for our school year. We had, from all accounts that I've heard and talking to everyone had a pretty good first day, and so we're ready to roll. We're in our of course, the high school and middle school did a full day yesterday, but all our elementaries are back to full day schedule now. So things will be rolling here pretty fast.
Excellent. Let's talk a little bit about this year. There's a lot of stuff going on in the district this year. I mean, we've had the bond issue come through. You've got construction going on, shifting some buildings. Let's get into it. How is this year going to shake out compared to previous years?
Well, as we began the year and we brought staff back on board, I spent some time talking to all our staff, just celebrating all of the work that is being done in the district and all the progress that I really feel very good about what's going on in Hays USD 489. Of course, we talked with staff a lot about just student success. We're just, once again, that has always been a constant in the district, but we continue to see kids excel in academics, athletics, scholarships, just performances across the district, and we're very proud of that. But other things that we celebrated and taking some time as we getting ready to start this school year off was just some of the systems that we've improved in our district. We've worked really hard as a district to improve things in terms of our school safety. We brought on a communication system, an alert system last year called Raptor that is we're continuing to try to improve that system. We've added some student screening assessments that really are giving us great indicators on how students are doing in the classroom and really helping us pinpoint on maybe some deficiencies and some things that we can intervene with kids. We've done some things in looking, and we're continuing to build with this. Our alternative school that we identify now as West Side, our students who have had some behavioral challenges, and we try to address those in terms of some mental health work and those kinds of things. We're continuing to look at those systems. Also things that that I shared with staff that I feel really good about, and this is something that's fairly important to our staff. We've made a concerted effort over the last 4 years to raise wages. I told the staff over the last 4 years we've added to the base salary about $7,500, which we're very proud of. We continue to want to look at that because our teachers and our classified staff, our paras, our aides, secretaries, nurses, all the people who support us, bus drivers, cooks, they're important as well, and we need to address those. But we're really happy about what we've been able to do there. We've also spent a considerable amount of time over the last 4 years working on some instructional focus, and I think that's really going to pay off. Part of the change that you'll see coming this year is some of the we will be taking some professional development days during once a month just to work on some of the instructional focuses. And what we're really trying to focus on are some student success criteria, making sure that we're catching every kid. Part of our district brand is every student every day, and we don't want to miss any kid. And so we've got with some of that student screening data. We just need to take the time, and during the whirlwind of a school day and everything that comes, you don't always have the time. So this is something that our district's really working to improve on. And of course, you've mentioned it, the facility improvements. We continue as a district to work on upgrading all of our facilities. We've spent a considerable amount of time, and this is actually outside of the bond, with some of the HVAC. All our buildings will have upgraded HVAC systems, with just the exception of half of Hays High right now, as that's the only building. We're going to finish that up next summer. And that's been over the last 4 years, just a concerted effort to really, we understanding that teaching and learning is important, but it can't happen if the people are not warm or cool. And so we had to really put some effort and some dollars into getting that done, and feel really good about that. Of course, the bond issue is still coming along. And those of you who have had the opportunity, you can see, minimal work outside of Roosevelt, but very soon you're going to start seeing a structure being erected there on the north side of the building. That will take place very soon. Kickoff for the new high school is maybe a month away. Still trying to get all our bids kind of lined out. But the thing that I shared with staff, when this is all completed in 3 years, we're going to see an increase of over 150,000 additional square feet across the district for teaching and learning that we didn't have when we started this project. So very excited about that, because that's the space that our staff and students deserve. And it's just going to give us more flexibility to do the things that we need to do. So just so many great things going on in our district, and we're just really excited to get this year kicked off.
Yeah. Have there been any hiccups with the construction? And I think about specifically pickup and drops off, which are always kind of it takes a minute to get into it and get the parents all, I wouldn't say on board, but it's complicated. Figure it out. Have you seen hiccups with the construction?
Well, not at this point. Right now, the only really construction we have going is at Roosevelt, and it hasn't, we don't have any impact in terms of what we currently have with the curtain drive situation. Maybe when we get to the new high school, you might see a little more congestion, because there will be some things going on around on the east side of the current high school. But for the most part, it shouldn't really conflict. We'll have separate construction entrances that won't, mesh with any of the public. So really should be no issues with those kinds of things.
Very good. And maybe real quick, it'd be a good opportunity to remind everybody what all work is being done in that bond package.
You bet. Of course, Roosevelt is our first project, and that we'll be adding approximately about 20,000 square feet to Roosevelt. In terms of, we also have renovated this summer. We renovated about 15 classrooms inside of Roosevelt, meaning they got new ceilings, they got new carpet, they got new paint, they've got new countertops, new sinks, kind of just a little bit of a makeover in all the classrooms. Bathrooms were updated with those classrooms that had bathrooms. So that's really the first projects. The project, like we've mentioned, is the new high school. That will be a building that right now our current high school is about 180,000 square feet. It'll go to about 220,000 square feet. So we'll see about a 40,000 square feet additional space for our high school. But of course, it'll have, in addition, a football field and a softball field, and a soccer field that'll also be part of that campus. In addition, and one thing that we're really proud of is we'll actually have a performing arts event center, so our kids will be able to, practice and do everything right there at the school that they attend. So we're excited about that. In addition, we will be looking at facility improvements. Once the high school is completed, our current high school will move to the new building. We'll renovate that high school for a future middle school. There'll be some things that will be done there. in terms of adding additional space, we won't be adding additional space. It'll just all be renovating. But at the same time, our middle school will see a considerable more classrooms available to them and just space. And right now our middle school is so compact. And then in addition to that, O'Laughlin, we'll do some additional, we'll add about 10,000 square feet to O'Laughlin. And then Hays Middle will become an elementary school for us. So, and we'll be doing some renovation inside of that and adding some features that will make that a really nice elementary school. So lots of going on. Completion for all these projects really is about 3 full years. So, it's still a ways away, but really we've been talking about it for a while, but here in a month, I think we'll be going full scale. So
excellent. We hear a lot about staffing shortages in schools across the state. I'm wondering, as you guys are kicking off the year, how are we looking in that department?
We are fully staffed, and we feel very fortunate about that. I would tell you, this year was probably the first year where maybe we got a little nervous at certain points and thinking about how we were going to fill some spots. We had some late resignations, and so those always kind of throw you for a loop because you're a little behind the 8 ball in terms of going out and recruiting and finding people that maybe want to come to your district. So we were able to fill everything. We're creative in the ways that we look at those positions today, and I think that has some real advantages. We have some transition to teaching opportunities always available, and we look at those when needed for positions that we're having trouble filling. And so we've been able to do that through some creative thinking and looking at ways to get this kind of back to where it needs to be. We encourage and really try to promote young people into thinking about going into education. It's a great career. I've been doing this a while, and I just can't imagine not doing this. It's just been such a rewarding career for me, as well as many of our employees who have worked in the district for a long time.
Yeah, and I imagine having Fort Hays right here in town helps too in that regard compared to other cities in the western Kansas.
We definitely appreciate our partnership with Fort Hays and having them in our backyard. I do think, like you said, it does help us in terms of we have a lot of young people who choose to come to our district and student teach, and we always look at that as an opportunity to kind of test drive and see how they would fit with what our mission is. And so, yes, we have a great relationship with Fort Hays and getting those kids in here, and they provide a lot of support for us. So we are always looking for young individuals to go into education, and Fort Hays is a great place for young kids to come and get their education degree.
With the kids back in the classroom, I wonder if you want to talk a little bit about when do the extracurriculars kick off? I imagine the sports teams are probably already on the field, but how's the rest of it looking?
Well, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but yes, you are correct. We kicked off on Monday with everything. So our sports teams are practicing. One of the unique things that we have going now at the high school is that we're with our projected construction of the site of the new high school. It's taken away some of our practice fields. Of course, last spring we added a turf field on the west side of the high school, which was currently our junior varsity field. But right now our soccer teams and football teams are practicing there in the morning and the evening and after school and all times. So things definitely are going. I believe we have some competitions actually starting next week if I'm right on that. So yeah, it comes fast, and then we're in the thick of it before you know it. So that's definitely what makes the beginning of the school special as the seasons start and the excitement builds for our teams and what they will accomplish this season.
Excellent. Well, sir, we're almost out of time. Any other last thoughts or anything else you want to hit on before we go?
No, we're just excited that, we're once again, always want to take an opportunity to, as we look and talk a little bit about the bond, thank our community for their support and everything they did to make this possible. as well, earlier when I was talking about our district and all the great things, that doesn't happen without a great community behind your school system. So we just appreciate everyone in our community and the things that they do to help us make this a go every year. And so we're just very excited to get this thing rolling and get into the groove.